Oh my god, guys, what am I going to do with all of these? This is the baskets here on the floor are full with lemons and oranges. Oh my god, what am I going to do with them all? There is so many of them. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Kim and today we are going to be preserving some of these lemons that I have here. My lemon tree was very generous this year, so I'm going to take full advantage of it and make sure that I preserve all of these lemons. So in this video I'm going to do 3 different ways of preserving the lemons. One is going to be a salted lemon. Then I'm going to do a honey lemon, and then I'm going to do a sugar lemon. And then I'm going to be doing another video. I'm not sure if it's going to be 2 more videos yet. It really just depends. I'm trying to keep them short and sweet for you. So then I'll do the other videos with the other ways I'm preserving the lemons as well. So I'll make sure that they are linked at the end or down in the description for you to check out. So let's get in here and get some lemons preserved. Oh, by the way, I ended up having 50 kilos of lemons. Yes, 50 kilos. To start off here, we need to make sure that these lemons are clean. Why do I need to clean these lemons? Well, they've been out on the lemon tree and I've pulled them in. Now, when they're out on the lemon tree there, they are going to have bird poop on them. They are going to have bugs climbing on them. They're going to have spider webs and spiders on them. So we need to make sure that we get them into a large bucket of water. I'm using my laundry sink. Give them a soak for a bit. Use a scrubber and give them a good scrub down. Now, we are not making these guys perfectly clean unless you are going to be using the skin. So if you're going to be using the skin, you're going to then want to think about making a lemon vinegar bath or a citric acid bath or whatever it is that you want to use. Some people use bleach and all sorts of things, but I am going to be making a vinegar bath to put these in. And the vinegar I'm using is some 4% vinegar. This has got a really strong smell, a really strong flavour to it, so I don't actually like using it in my cooking and preserving, so I'm going to use it for this. So for this bucket holds about 9 litres. I'm going to put in about a cup of vinegar into it and let them sit for 10 or 15 minutes in that. Then I'm going to give them a quick rinse off and let them air dry on the side here, and then I'm going to get in and get these things cut up, sliced up into the different ways that I want to be using them. So this is my big harvest basket. This basket is full of washed clean lemons. It's currently holding about 28 kilos worth of lemons, and I am still to continue doing more lemons. There's some more lemons with oranges in here. My sink still has a lot of lemons in here soaking as well. Kind of a little over washing the lemons, so I'm going to start getting in and start processing some up. Now, what I'm going to be using for some of today's is these really big jars. I'm not sure how big they are, but they are, I think these were like a sun-dried tomato or olives. I'm not sure which, because I've got jars for both. So I'm going to sterilize some of these, and I'm going to turn some of these into preserved lemons. This is my biggest pot, and as you can see, I filled the jar up, but I didn't fill up the pot just because it will probably overflow, but it will get everything nice and hot and clean and sterilized in there. So as I'm cutting these up, I am kind of sorting through them. I have a lot of lemons that have skin that's been eaten by the snails, so these ones will not go to waste. The juice that's in these is still good, so I'm going to juice up these ones, but I'm just going to put them aside for now and do the juicing later. All the ones with the skin that looks pretty good, maybe just, you know, cut off a tiny little blemish here and there if it needs to. These are going to make honey lemon, sugar lemon, and honey, ginger, and all the different preserves I'm going to make with them today. Anything with blemish, little blemishes like this on, I'm probably just going to cut that off and use this for sliced lemons that I'm going to do in the freezer. I'm going to try that out this year. I could always just still cut that off and use it with the honey lemons and stuff like that, but there is a fair bit of sort of chewed on bits around here as well. So there will be 3 different groups. The groups that I'm happy with the skins, ones that are okay, and then a group that definitely needs to just be juiced. These skins, I probably won't even use them to make lemon vinegar. They are a little bit beyond that, I think, so they'll just get composted or thrown out to the chickens to munch on. Now, I'm cutting off the ends of these lemons. These are not going to waste. They're going into a bowl over there, and that is what I'm going to be making my lemon vinegar out of. Now, your thickness is totally up to you. I'm just doing whatever comes, sort of 1/2 centimeter kind of thing. Then I'm just going to remove as many of these little seeds out of here. These lemons are pretty good. Not a lot of seeds in them. So traditionally a salted lemon or cured lemon is done whole, where they just cut it 3/4 of the way through on both angles. I have seen it done a couple of different ways, and I'm choosing to do it in 2/4. And obviously I'm just going to remove any of the seeds that I can see in here as well. I'm doing it this way so that they fit into the jar better. Some of my some of my lemons are quite big, so they're not going to fit through the mouth of the jar very well. So I'll be doing the 2 different types of cutting them up. Some of the little slices this way. I'm also going to do them this half of this again, so that I have them for the different purposes that I want to actually use them. I might actually even, these are bigger ones that I have, I'm going to cut them actually that little bit smaller as well. Quickly just show you the 3rd way that I'm going to cut these up so that you can see. So that's the half lemon, then there's the 1/4 lemon slices, and then there's the lemon wedges. These are the 3 different ways that I'm going to do them so that they are nice and easy for whatever it is that I'm using them for. Okay, so now that I've completely confused you with what I'm doing, I'm actually going to be doing salted lemons with the wedges, and with the half slices and the 1/4s, I'm going to be doing honey lemon, which is basically like a hot honey lemon drink you would have in winter that you could use for sore throats and that kind of thing. And I'm also going to be doing a sugar and lemon, which basically becomes a quick and easy, like cordial kind of thing to make homemade lemonade. So guys, this might confuse you guys a little bit, but I will put down in the description down the bottom the sort of the quantities and what I've actually done with them, because I was kind of trying to make sure that I can get as much of the cutting up and prepping done before I started putting things into jars. So I'm going to get in and I'm just going to show you the different types of ways that I'm preserving these lemons. Alright, so the first way of preserving these lemons is going to be lemons in salt. Now I'm using a pink Himalayan salt here, finely grind pink Himalayan salt. You can use whatever type of salt you want to use. You do you when it comes to salt. Just got to remember that if the salt flavor can come through on whatever you're using it as well. So if it's a very full flavored salt, some of that salt flavor will come through. But in saying that, when you go to use these guys, you'll be taking the amount of lemons you want out of the jar, rinsing off some of the excess salt, and then using them that way. And just remember, don't salt whatever you're making with them until after you've cooked it, because you might end up over salting. So there's no set amount of salt that needs to go into here. It just needs to be able to get the juice to be extracted from the lemon. So that whole bag that you can see me using there was probably about 2 cups of salt. Now that sounds like an awful lot of salt, guys, but don't forget I have really large jars that I'm using here, so they will be a lot of salt going into these jars. So basically I just kind of put the lemons together, salted, mixed them all up, and kind of massaged the salt into them, and then filled my jars, squished them down into the jars, and cleaned the lid off, the rim off the jar, and put the lid on, and just let it sit on your bench. And every day, twice a day, go over and give it a shake and move it around, and you then have preserved lemons. That is as easy as it is, guys, to do the salted lemon. Remember, you can do these in any shape you want to do. You can do them whole, halves, whatever you want. I was happy to do the wedges, and that is pretty much the way to preserve these. But don't forget, if you want to see me cooking with them, you need to head on over to Cooking with Mumma Bear, and you'll find the link to that down in the description and or at the end of the video. So that you guys kind of see what this has turned out like. Since I recorded the video on how I done these, I'll put that down the bottom because I don't know offhand at the minute how long it's been. This is the salted lemon. Have been sitting here on this shelf in my pantry, or what we call it is the shop. So you can see that there is plenty of liquid in here now, which is covering all the lemons, and the lemons seem to be keeping their color really quite nicely, and that is just exactly how we want them. They are not going moldy or anything like that. And guys, if you guys want to see how I'm going to use these, you're going to have to head on over to Cooking with Mumma Bear, which will be down in the description, to see how I cook with these things. And this will be a first for me. I've never done these before, so we are going to see how this turns out. The next thing I'm going to be doing here, guys, is the honey lemon. Now, you can use whatever type of honey you've got on hand. I picked up these 2 great big ones. They were half price on special. These are $1 kilo honey each. So, I wasn't 100% happy with the after flavor of these particular honey. So, just make sure when you're picking out the honey that you want to use, that you're really 100% happy with the flavor of the honey, because that does kind of take away a little bit from the end result that you get. So, use raw honey, organic honey, whatever you want. This was on special, so this is the honey that I'm using. It's really, really quick, easy and simple with the honey lemon, guys. You just need to shove your jar full of lemon slices, wedges, however you want to cut them up, and then pour honey on top of it until it covers the lemons. So the way that I did it to make sure that the honey actually all went to the bottom was to do it in a bit of a layering format. So as you can see here, I ended up taking the lid off of this honey jar because it was extremely hard to squeeze the honey out, and taking the lid off of the container just made things so much easier with this squeezy bottle. So just keep going, guys. Layer, put some honey, put some lemons, put some honey, put some lemons. There is no actual quantities when it comes to how much honey to how much lemons, as long as you're going to get enough liquid at the end to cover your lemons. Now, the juice of the lemons will actually come out. The honey will help draw that out, and the honey will become a liquid form as it sits and ferments. So you just need to make sure that when you've got it sitting on you sit it on your bench as well, where you can see it, that every day, once a day, twice a day, you go over to it, you give it a good shake up, turn it upside down. Just be careful. My jars leaked a little bit, so I had to give them a bit of a clean up each time I did it. But yeah, so just keep an eye on them, turn them around, mix them around. For probably I think it took me about 4 days for the honey to get completely melted into all of that yummy lemon juice. And I can tell you, it is an awesome thing to have sitting in the fridge waiting for you when you need a hot honey lemon drink, or you just want, you can add this and make marinades for your meats out of it. It's not just for drinks. You can use this in so many different ways. You can do, turn it into a bit of a gravy thing where you're just tipping some of it over top of your whatever meat that you're using to add some honey lemon flavor to it. Put it on some fish. Just go with it, guys. Use it for whatever you can come up with. But definitely get some of this in your cupboard. It is awesome. So for this large jar here, I used just over 1 kilo of honey, and it just filled the jar up really nicely. Now, because I got it on special, it didn't cost, I think that was only about $8 for that kilo of honey. So in the end, this large jar of honey lemon has cost me about $8. I think it was $8.50. So it's not an expensive way to do it with honey, especially if you can get it on special. If you're going to be buying organic honey or raw honey, you are probably going to be paying a lot more for that. So I would probably recommend you guys go with doing a smaller batch and try it out and see if you do like it, and see whether it's something that you are going to want to keep doing again, or whether you're going to prefer to just go over and do the sugar and lemon one as well, which will be coming up right after I finish making the honey one. Again, guys, don't forget to give your jar a wipe down, secure your lid, and put it on the bench again where you can see it, to give it a shake up each day and check on it and make sure that it is melting nicely and all the honey and lemon is being incorporated. So as you can see, the honey will become a lot runnier as it sits on the bench and all the lemon juice incorporates into it, and that is exactly what you want it to do. This is the lemon honey. We like the lemon sugar one better than the honey. This honey that I use has got a slight aftertaste to it. So, but this will be still an awesome thing to have a honey and lemon tea. So this is going in the fridge. I will still drink it as a cold drink as well, but we definitely like the other one better. So, but for those of you who do like a honey and lemon, this is also a really good way of doing it, and it's exactly the same way as making up your lemonade. So you just put some of your lemon and your honey syrup into the cup, and then just add some cold water to it. Again, I've put this in the fridge just to make it all cold, and the fridge will help preserve it and keep any bacteria out as well. But guys, this is just so awesome. It will be next year when my lemon tree is up and running again. I will be doing lots and lots and lots of these, and it's just going to be the quickest, easiest, and most yummiest way of making a quick, fresh drink out of lemons. last one for this video, guys, the third one, then you're going to have to click at the end of the video to see what else I've done with preserving the lemons. But this one is a lemon in sugar. So basically what this turns into is a cordial, like the honey and lemon, that you can use to make a fresh lemonade, a fresh homemade lemonade, without all the hassle of having to juice them and make them up fresh and make a sugar syrup and all that kind of stuff. So I did this without measuring anything. If you really want to get technical into the amount of sugar that goes into this, it's equal parts fruit to equal parts sugar. So if you put a kilo of fruit, you put a kilo of sugar. Now I did do one jar like that just to see what the difference was compared to me just putting lemons in and putting sugar in it and filling up all the gaps, and I can tell you there was no great difference at all. So whichever way you do it, it's up to you. So the biggest main part with any of these projects today, guys, is the time it takes to make sure that my peel is clean and that I've got everything cut up and I've removed as many of the seeds as I can. Putting them into the actual jar literally took less than probably 3 or 4 minutes to actually do it, but the rest of the process, that took me quite a lot of the day. So just make sure that if you start this project, that you give yourself plenty of time to get it done. But I can tell you now, it is so worth it. I have been drinking the lemonade and it is beautiful. Alright, so that is this one, guys. If you want to check out the other ways that I have preserved the lemons, you're going to have to click on the video at the end here, or you'll find it down in the description. And don't forget, if you head on over to Cook with Mumma Bear, there'll be videos over there on how I cook with my preserved foods. And gardening with Mumma Bear as well. All these are linked down in the description so that you can find the different areas that you might be interested in just by clicking on the link. Also the lemon and sugar. So I have actually put these in the fridge. That is only so that I can keep the liquid cold, so that when I make them, this is already cold and it's not warming up my water when I do it. So these guys, I have been drinking this and it is amazing. Basically you treat it like a cordial. You put a bit of your lemon into your cup and some of your syrup, probably about yay much in the bottom of your cup, and then you add some nice cold water to it and you have instant homemade lemonade. This is a must on everybody's list. If you've got a lemon tree, make these things. They are awesome. So this is them sitting in the fridge. Excuse my fridge mess, but what I ended up doing is I did have 4 jars of these. I've now got 3 jars. As the sugar melts, it becomes to about here even when the jar is full. So I ended up transferring the other jar into these 3 jars so that I had less jars to be putting in the fridge. It also meant that they were full as well. So this one, I'm working out of this one because it's not, I even take a jar of this and put it in the fridge at work so I can have it when I'm at work as well. So, but the sugar melts really well. You just make sure you're shaking it every day until it melts, and then you can just put it aside and store it. So I mean, I did have it out in the cupboard for a few days, probably about 3 or 4 weeks before I put it into the fridge and decided that I wanted to have it cold. Okay guys, so if you want to see what I'm going to be doing with my lemon peel ends here, don't forget to hit the video on the left here or the right, I'm not sure which, and come over and check out the next video on the lemon preserving. And until next time, happy preserving, guys.